Hello, I'm Greg Retke of Retke Mods, and welcome to episode 9 of season 2 of my PowerPC series. This episode's where make season 2 of the PowerPC series comes full circle. It's taken 9 episodes and 5 months to do this, and I've actually had this system in my possession since I think early March now. And well, here it is, the dosdude1 special Pismo G4. Yeah, this is my Pismo G4, the G3 PowerBook that I first introduced in episode 1 of this season. And it's been specially modified by Collin Mistr, aka dosdude1. And in this episode, we'll be going over what's changed in it. I'll be showing you what the G4 looks like in it. And, you know, it's a very neat system. Very powerful. This actually is a lot more useful than it was before, and that's saying a lot because it was pretty useful before. And in fact, this thing's running Leopard now. We'll be showing you that, and I'll show you how I did it and how it performs. There's a few glitches here and there graphical wise, but it works pretty good. And you know, anyway, so that's basically the intro, and I hope you guys enjoy this episode. So let's get to it. Okay, so I first thought we'd start off by showing off his masterful work and the G4 swap, and explaining to you why it works so well in a G3 Pismo. First off, before we do that, let's plug his channel. Hi, Collin. Just click this link up here if you want to see his work. Also click the link up there, and there's a video of when he did this this machine here, and it's a very interesting video, very cool to watch. It's I think about 45 minutes long, but it's worth it, every single second of it, and I think you guys will enjoy watching it. So anyway, so click those links, and anyway, get back to the computer here. Anyway, the work he did in this, and why this works so well. Let's take the board off here. Okay, so what has changed in this system since I filmed it in episode 1? It now has a 128 gigabyte SATA. It originally had a 30 gigabyte hard drive I found out of one of my systems. I can't remember which one now. It was okay, but it was kind of slow, and you'll see the differences in speeds when I show you some videos I filmed earlier. Anyway, other than that, that's the main difference. It's still got the Super Drive-like compatible drive in it, which I put in for episode 1. It's really handy. And other than that, everything's stock other than the CPU card. So let's take the cover off here. Okay, got the cover off. We'll lift this up here. Here's the CPU card. Now, if you remember seeing episode 1, it basically looks the same with the cover on it. Well, we'll fix that. I gotta take off these 3 screws, and we'll show you the CPU. Unscrew. And these are hex. Let's see here. I think this is the bit. Yep. Change that out. Lift it up. Lift it up. And lift up the heatsink. Here's the G4 here. I'm going to clean this up a little bit to show you a little more detail about it. So I'll pop the card out. Here's the card. I'll wipe this down real quick, and we'll continue on with the video. Okay, so here's the card all cleaned up. This G4 right here, as you're looking at it, is actually the same G4 that was in that logic board of that broken titanium that I showed you in episode 1. That is the system that he used to upgrade this card here. This is a 500 megahertz G4 7410 from that titanium, and it has been overclocked to 550 megahertz, where it's very, very cold, stable, and runs very cool. Why does it run so cool? Well, it's because the cooling system in the Pismo. This is the heatsink. Doesn't look like a whole lot, but it's hooked up to this fan here, which in a normal G3 Pismo never turns on at all. Now, in a G4 powered Pismo, it tends to never turn on at all unless you're, like, for instance, running Leopard. It will turn on then and get a little loud. And I think that was maybe one of the reasons why Apple decided not to do a G4 in these. Now, why do I say that? This system right here is identical hardware-wise as a 500 titanium or a 400 titanium. They have all the same hardware in them, except a different screen resolution, and the titaniums have one less firewire port. Other than that, everything in the system is the same, all the same hardware, and even the same system model number almost. This is PowerBook, I can't remember right offhand, like 3,1 or something like that. I'll put an annotation here. And the other one's the ,2 version. Same hardware, you know, but still. So, the reason why Apple changed this from the PowerBook G3 series probably to just PowerBook was, I think this was originally going to be the first G4. This was going to be this ended up, I guess, being a test mule for the G4s. But Apple probably decided that it was running too hot and too loud. And in fact, it doesn't run too hot, but it does run a little loud when that fan's spinning. And I think that's why it has such beefy cooling. And that's why this card works so great. If you look at that, Collin did an incredible job. This looks factory. This looks like it should. You know, this looks like what would have came from Foxconn or whoever made these cards. You know, the only way you can tell that this isn't factory is if I can get this to focus. Yeah, okay. Right here, it says RX 500, which means this is a 500 megahertz G4. And right here, it says 400 megahertz. You know, that's a dead giveaway there. And, you know, he had to change the PLL jumpers, which I think are behind this piece of RAM. I don't really want to take that out right now. And stuff. You can watch the video, and it shows you how he did it. And basically, that's why this Pismo works so great with a G4, and why it's cool. It runs really cool. So anyway, I thought you guys might like to see his work. His work's great. And I'm going to rethermal paste this, stick it all back together, and hook it up, and we'll start testing everything out and showing you what it can do now. So let's go. Okay, so now that I have everything back together and pasted up and all that stuff, let's plug in the fire brick and turn it on. That's plugged in. We'll open it up. You know, it still looks stock, of course, because there's really nothing changed on it. So I'll turn off this light here, and we'll start it up. And this should start booting right up into Leopard. here we go. We're almost booted up. Here we go. We're booted up now. Now this system has the beta WWDC 2006 video drivers in it, which causes a few little glitches, but allows the software acceleration and stuff. Here, I'll show you. Okay, first off, here we go. You can see it's running a 550 megahertz G4 in it, and this really is, show you again, Leopard. Okay, so that's set up there. Now if we go over to graphics and displays, we'll see that core image is software accelerated, and it's got a Rage Mobility 3 in it. Of course, that wouldn't be there if I didn't have these drivers. We'll go down to extensions and I'll show you. Now, if you've noticed one thing, when the system starts up and runs for a while, this stops happening. But once, when it starts up, you'll occasionally get a pointer freeze in one position, like right here, where you still have the pointer going somewhere else. So like when it changes between pointers, sometimes it will freeze. That's part of the driver issue. But it's manageable, and eventually, like I said, it will go away. So if we go down to where would it have been under, it's under ATI Rage 128. Now this is a driver that Collin gave me himself. He got it off of, I think, Des Roth, another guy off of Low End Mac, and he gave it to me. I did all the stuff that was required to get it signed and running. Once that was all done, I had acceleration and video playback and all that stuff. And that also means that we can do stuff like watch DVDs and stuff, which I'll demonstrate in a second. But before we do that, I want to show you videos of what it looked like with the hard drive back when I was testing it with the hard drive and the acceleration. And then I'll show you a video of what it looks like without the acceleration enabled. And then I'll show you a video of what it's like with the SSD installed and accelerating. So sit back and enjoy. Okay guys, so this is the second time I'm booting up my Pismo into Leopard. I did the Kextac for the Rage mobility in this. So it has core image, and you guys will be able to see just how core image works on here. And here it comes. And there we go. Now, because core image is enabled, and yes, that did look awful, but without the core image, it wouldn't even play the video.
Mac OS 10 includes a built-in screen
That's
reader
nice.
called
Shut
VoiceOver.
up.
If you know how to use VoiceOver,
I know.
press
I know.
Command
Shut up.
F5 now to turn it on and set up your Mac.
Okay.
If you would like to learn how to use
shut
VoiceOver
up.
to set up your Mac, press the Escape key.
You done now? Okay. Anyway, without the core image enabled, that video wouldn't play. The background wouldn't be the Aurora background that we see here. And, well, I'd already probably have this set up because I wouldn't have had to wait through the video. But because with the core image enabled, it will smoothen some of the animations a little bit. Of course, the Rage is nothing like a Radon, so it's still not super great looking, but it does work. Okay guys, so if you're wondering what it is like to have it running without the video texts loaded, here is the intro again. I just reinstalled Leopard, and it's about to load. I reinstalled Leopard to test an SSD on here, and let's see what happens. And here it comes. As you can see, there's no video. The Aurora background is not here because there's no text for the video. So we'll just skip on through all this. And the music just stopped, and I'm already at the screen here, about ready to go through. And I'm just doing a test account on here, so you guys have a example what it's like without the video text loaded. And I already have this basically set up. So hit continue, and presto. It's loading right up. Everything's pretty slow video-wise without the text installed. As we can see, it's not as smooth, and a lot of features just won't work. So I'll be reloading the text on here to continue testing it, and then yeah, as you can see, it's pretty slow. I'll be reloading everything and you know, testing it all out, and then I'll do the final installs on here and set it up for the video. So yeah, let's go back to where we were. Guys, I'm not really sure how I managed to do it, but I somehow got the core image acceleration to work properly on the Pismo. And I'm not really sure how I did it, but you're going to be very impressed by the video that's about to load. And here it comes. Okay, so it's still a little glitchy, but as we can see, it's actually working. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Very interesting, wasn't it? Now, other than the occasional times that the pointer will freeze, which, who knows, it may not do it again. It was doing it a second ago in the video. Other than that occasional freeze there, everything accelerates pretty nicely. I have this thing set up with a little bit of a speed enhancement, but as we can see, everything's really snappy. And so I'm going to show you just how good these drivers work by running a DVD in it. Now, a forewarning, I may have to stop the video at one point because, and this isn't Collin's work that did it, there's something wrong with the system itself, and I think it's got something to do with one of the wires, and I've never totally taken this whole system apart, but sometimes when the drive's running, the trackpad stops working, at least properly, and I don't really feel like plugging a mouse into it right now. But we're not going to be watching a DVD per se. I was originally going to show you guys a video of that I shot about 10.5 years ago, one of the first professional videos I ever shot for a art class in high school, which I had burned on DVD back then, and I had that darn thing with me up until a few days ago. I was just ripping it for backup, and I have no clue where I sat it. Otherwise we'd be watching that, and I'd guarantee no copyright strikes. But we're going to risk it and watch a little Chuck Norris here. No, we're not going to actually be watching the DVD, but we'll be watching a quick excerpt just to show you that it does work. So let that spin up. Turn the volume up some. And let's see here. We'll go to scene selections. Everything's working fine. We can skip around here. And it's very quick. You know. Go back to the DVD menu. You know, it's very quick. No major issues here. Anything you choose, it will do. And it will do great. Like that. So if we X out here,
America's elite anti-terrorist commandos, committed to destroy the enemies of...
okay, it's that simple. It works great. I'm going to eject the disk, and that's when the mouse might stop working. So yeah, let's see what happens. We'll hit eject. Pull that out. And actually the mouse, oh, there it goes. It's getting a little laggy. It will eventually catch back up. I don't know why it does that. I think it's got something to do with my optical drive. It's not Collin's work, like I said before. I don't know why it does that. It does that in all the operating systems, even OS 9. So yeah, let's pause this for a second while I get the mouse. At least get an external mouse until this thing clears up. 1 second, guys. Well, that was actually a pretty simple fix there. I just had to put it into sleep and then take it back out, and look, everything's back to normal. So anyway, what we're going to do now is open up WebKit, and we'll start browsing around. Now we have my Belkin Airport Extreme compatible card here. It works great for a good speedy internet connection. We'll go over to, let's see here. Facebook. Open up something over here. And we'll go over to low-end Mac. And it signed me out, apparently. Darn it. Let's see here. I'll log it in real quick. Enter. Here we go. Now this is one of the links I'd shared earlier from when I got my new Radon X1900 for my late 2005 G5. We'll pull up the main low-end Mac page, and all this is real time. Facebook's pretty snappy for the most part. Sometimes it will lag a little bit, which you're seeing right now. I always have a great job, great times showing all this lagginess while I'm filming, when it's not supposed to be doing that. It doesn't do it when I'm not filming, but now everything seems to be loaded up and everything seems to be working. Yeah, look at that. That is nice. Very quick, very smooth, and having the graphics drivers help a lot. This really did help speed up the whole system, you know. And of course you can't watch YouTube and stuff like that on a Pismo, but you can do a lot of things on this Pismo that you couldn't do on a regular Pismo. Right now it's actually doing a backup. That's probably why it's lagging online. Let's stop the backup for a second here. But yeah, it never really lags. We'll go over and show you the performance here. Utilities, activity monitor. Here we go. It is right now using about 10 to 30% battery, CPU. No problems at all. Now, there is some interesting things about Leopard. Leopard does have one little drawback here, and that's because Leopard was designed for systems that only had one battery in them. And of course, this system can have up to 2 batteries, which is an annoyance there, because instead of bay 1, which the battery is in, it only sees bay 2, which the optical drive's in. So unless you eject the optical drive and put the battery in there, you can't actually see how much battery charge you have. It says no batteries available, but let's unplug it. Look, it's still on, and it says power source battery. You know, it's annoying. Very weird, very interesting that you know, it still knows it's running on battery, but it says there's no battery. So we'll plug this back in. And that should be... We've been working on trying to fix that, but, you know, we just never got around to trying to figure out which file or whatever it needs to do it. So the system's still apparently trying to back itself up, which is a bit of an annoyance. I don't know why it's doing that. So, yeah. Anyway. So, maybe I can eject it. That's a no. Okay. Well, anyway. Let's turn the volume down some here. Oh, now it's doing it's indexing the drive. Why every single time I film it does this? And... there it goes. It stopped indexing. And Anyway, yeah, I'm just doing a great job showing you guys this stuff, aren't I? Let's turn the brightness up. We'll close out WebKit here, and we'll open up 10.4 Fox. Now this is the FPR7, the most recent one that just came out, I think, like yesterday. Works pretty good. I was using 6.1 on here, actually. I just updated it. It should actually work even better because there's a lot more new features in FPR7 that the earlier ones didn't have. So it is loading it up right now, slowly. 10.4 Fox is a very big resource hog, no matter what. So, and it's still loading it. Okay, here we go. And this tells you about FPR7 and stuff. It's got ad block in it now, and it's built into the browser, so it shouldn't slow it down any. It's nice. It helps a lot. We'll just go to what website should we go to? Well, let's just Google real quick. And I assure you, this is actually quicker than it's been showing. But that was pretty quick. Right now, I have this on the full 10.4 Fox user agent. I don't have it on the mobile or anything like that. And it's a little slow. If you had this on like the iOS user agent, it would be a lot quicker. But you know, it's 10.4 Fox. It works. I've even loaded up YouTube on here. It, of course, won't play anything, at least well. But it will load it up. Let's just open up a random video here that I have preloaded. It will try to play it. It won't. But it will give you a general idea of just how useful it can still be today if it loads. As you can tell, it's going pretty quick. I might be eating my words in a second. Ha. Okay. Well, anyway, you get the idea. It is doing something. But yeah. Hey, it's trying to play it. Yeah. So we'll close out that. And it will promptly freeze.
Mods, and welcome to episode 5 of my PowerPC series. In this episode, we'll be introducing my
Okay.
Mac G5.
Okay, that's good. Shut up. Thank you. Yeah. Like I said, it won't play YouTube. Don't even really try that. But that gives you an idea. It will load a modern page. And it can load other modern pages and stuff. Leopard's a lot more useful than you'd think on something so old. I'm trying to think what I can load here. Let's load up my Rutk Mods page on Facebook. We'll use the full page. See how quickly it does it. What is it doing now? Yeah. Thank you. Okay. It finally stopped the backup. Yay. Yeah. This is painfully slow. But then again, that's expected. Here's my page. Let's switch this over to a different user agent. We'll try the iOS version. Maybe. Close out the original page. And yeah, I'll speed this up a little bit here. Looks like the system's indexing again. You've got to be kidding me. Why? Well, yeah, that is a resource hog in and of itself. When it's not indexing, it doesn't slow down the system so much. Yeah, see, once it stopped indexing, it's actually working. That's bugging me. But let's see here. We'll do the iOS real quick. Open up a new tab, and now it's going fast again. That indexing can be one heck of a killer there. We'll reopen my page here. And here it comes. And here it comes. Every single time. Never fails. I promise you guys, this is a lot quicker than it seems. Here it goes. And look, it logged me out on here too. But it is loading up slowly. It is still loading up. So needless to say, like I said before, 10.4 Fox is a resource hog. As you saw, WebKit was actually quicker. But here we go. It's finally loaded everything. And while we're on this page, let's see if I can find it. It's here somewhere. And I just overshot it, I think. Here we go. Time to plug this again. If you guys are still interested in winning a Power Mac G5, link right here. Follow that video. Give a good watch of it. Why not show you how it's up here? Anyway, getting back. You know, well, let's switch it over to Classilla and bore you some more here. Open up the tab again. As we can see, since the indexing stopped, it's working fine. Facebook. And here it comes again. Boom. Now that was quick. That was impressive there. And like I said, you know, it's quicker. It's a lot quicker. It can do a lot more things than it could before. It's running Leopard, which is even more impressive. And you know, it's a lot better than it was. I'm going to leave this on iOS. Close out 10.4 Fox. You know, and it can do a lot of things that you know. I might show you a program here if I can find something. No, not really. Let's leave the rest of Leopard here. You've seen that Leopard works. It works great. Everything's working great on it, except occasionally that driver will glitch out. And for some reason, it didn't eject that drive, although it stopped updating. I mean, backing up. Go figure. It's a network drive. There is one other problem with having this driver running on here, and that only other problem is... Now, let's first do this. Yeah, I was right. This is a 3,1. The titaniums are 3,2s. That's literally the difference between the two. And this will actually outperform a titanium with the same specs. A 500, this will outperform it because it's got a smaller resolution, and it's actually been overclocked 50 megahertz. So, yeah. Anyway. The only other problem with this driver is, on occasion, not always, two problems. One, OpenGL I haven't gotten to work right. It will cause crashes and freezing and stuff. Also, the animated wallpapers, screensavers will also freeze up the whole app. It won't freeze up the system, But, you know, OpenGL will sometimes crash. We are working on ways to make that work better. But right now it doesn't seem to work, and I'm not going to bother with OpenGL things while I use this system. And I've been using the system daily for like a month, you know. So the only other problem is with this driver is sometimes when you shut it down, it will crash. I'm hoping it won't. Is it going to? It would crash right here. Is it going to? I don't think it's going to. Hey, it didn't crash. So anyway, I have other things on here we can play around with. If I can get it. There it goes. We have Tiger set up on here, and we have OS9 set up on here. We'll quickly boot into them just to show you that it does run them. And welcome to the slow as molasses open firmware boot menu again. I still to this day I don't understand why they couldn't have streamlined that some. So now we're booting into Tiger. And this is all real time. We're in Tiger. Tiger boots a lot quicker than Leopard because it doesn't have to load beta drivers and have old hardware conflicts and stuff. Tiger's loaded, and Tiger loads a whole lot quicker with a G4 than a G3. It's amazingly fast. It's blazing fast. And a lot of that has to do with it has to do with the SSD. The SSD helps a lot. And we have everything down to classic on here, completely working. I apparently never actually ran this version of Classic. I was running an older version of it earlier. And look, it's booting Classic right up. You know, it works great. This should be loading Classic straight off of my OS9 partition. Yeah, it is. So now we have Classic running. It's, like I always say in every video, I don't feel like I really need to show you guys Tiger again because it's Tiger. It does everything Tiger does. And as we can see here with Tiger, it shows the battery, which bugs me. It doesn't do it otherwise. But yeah, everything still works in it. You know, and it's Tiger. So we'll quickly reboot back into boot it into OS9. And as you saw there, it shut Tiger off really quick. Okay, so now we'll boot it into OS 9.2.2. Once the open firmware boot menu finishes up. Here we go. We'll hit that, and it will start booting into OS 9.2.2. And here we are. And we're in 9.2.2. Everything's working. All the video stuff. Apple System Profiler. As we can see here, the G4 is running. Everything's up here. We've got that gig of RAM running beautifully. You know, and everything works. So yeah, we're running OS 9. Everything's OS 9 happiness, you know. Even have the airport card. I don't currently have my retro router running where we connect this to the internet, but you know, it's got the airport working. Everything's working. Everything's set up. This has been a daily driver for about a month now, making sure everything was going well. A lot of the messages and stuff I leave on Facebook on low-end Mac and stuff is actually made with this system right here to prove that it does work. And I've left proof on there before if you want to go and look. But yeah. So anyway, once again, thank you, Collin Mistr, aka dosdude1, for doing this, doing the GeForce swap on the card and stuff. If you guys want to see his channel, subscribe to him. You know, he greatly appreciate that. I would too. And that video right up there, that click on the eye icon and take a look at that. You know, really nice video, real cool to watch. Also, if you guys are interested in that Power Mac G5 still, there's still time. As long as you live in the United States of America, you can enter. And you just need to watch that video on the eye icon above, and you know, that's basically it. That's the end of this episode, and thank you guys for watching. This has been a Rutke Mods video. That's the screen black. Hello, I'm Greg Rutke of Rutke Mods, and welcome to episode 9 of season 2 of my PowerPC series. This episode's where make this season go full circle. Hello, I'm Greg Rutke of Rutke Mods, and welcome to season 2 of what? Hello, I'm Greg Rutke of Rutke Mods, and welcome to episode 2 of season 9 of... Okay.